Fans of the Baltimore Ravens, the season is heating up, and the conversation around the team has never been more intense. The recent signing of Mark Andrews has sparked debates across the fan base. While some see it as a straightforward move to strengthen the tight end position, there's a deeper layer to consider. Andrews, at 30 years old, is a proven star, but age inevitably raises questions about how long he can maintain his elite performance. Meanwhile, Isaiah Likely, at just 25, remains a focal point in discussions about the team's future. He has flashed significant potential. Even if this past season has seen him struggle at times, his inconsistencies are often weighed against his impressive abilities. The moments of brilliance he has shown, and the injury setbacks that forced him to adapt to playing with backup quarterbacks and shuffled lineups. The possibility of the Ravens placing a franchise tag on Likely has been floated, representing a one-year fully guaranteed contract in the neighborhood of $15.8 million. While that figure is substantial, it also signals that the team might be looking to communicate a message regarding long-term financial commitments. The negotiations surrounding Likely and the decision to lock in Andrews suggest a balancing act of salary, potential, and team dynamics. It seems plausible that the Ravens tried to extend Likely but faced a gap in valuation. Andrews, secured at a rate likely lower than what a long-term deal with Likely would require, gives Baltimore flexibility for retaining other players or managing future contracts. The math might not show a massive difference on a yearly basis, but strategically, it aligns with long-term planning, especially when considering the combined salaries of multiple tight ends, and how that could limit options in upcoming seasons as the Ravens move forward. It's clear that team structure and opportunity for individual players are influencing decisions. Likely, if aiming to be the number one tight end in a team, might find himself looking elsewhere with Andrews locked into Baltimore's plans for the foreseeable future. While financial numbers provide one layer of insight, the potential for playing time and role prominence is equally vital in understanding roster moves. This strategic outlook reflects how the Ravens navigate not just talent acquisition, but also retention and development, balancing experienced stars with rising talent, all while keeping salary cap considerations in mind. Turning to the field, the Ravens have been fortunate in recent practices with key players returning to full participation. Lamar Jackson's presence at practice has been encouraging, providing the offense with stability, while players like Darius Washington, Davius Robinson, and others have been active and healthy, setting the stage for upcoming matchups. Even with some limited participants, the overall picture suggests that Baltimore is in relatively good shape heading into critical games. The upcoming clash with the Pittsburgh Steelers represents not just another rivalry, but a pivotal moment in the season where momentum, health, and execution will determine positioning within the division. Both teams sit at 6 wins and 6 losses, highlighting the competitive balance and unpredictability of the AFC North this year. Analyzing the Steelers, their defensive outlook is a key story. After struggles in previous matchups against high-powered rushing offenses, Pittsburgh aimed to reinforce its defensive line, adding both youth and experience to counter teams like Baltimore. Draft picks and veteran acquisitions were intended to build a more resilient front, capable of controlling the line of scrimmage. However, injuries have derailed some of these plans. Key defensive players are missing, impacting depth and forcing adjustments in both strategy and execution. While there have been moments of strong defensive play, inconsistency has plagued the unit, and the upcoming game against the Ravens will test their ability to contain Lamar Jackson and the dynamic Ravens offense. Offensively, the Steelers face questions as well. They must generate consistent production while navigating a division known for its physicality and competitiveness. The performance of individual skill players, the efficiency of the offensive line, and the ability to respond under pressure all factor into the potential success of Pittsburgh. In this critical matchup, each team brings talent and volatility. Both have displayed the capacity to dominate opponents while also struggling against defenses they should manage effectively. This game, therefore, becomes a microcosm of their season, highlighting strengths, exposing weaknesses, and potentially setting the tone for the remainder of the schedule. For the Ravens, offensive struggles have been particularly notable over recent weeks. Lamar Jackson has faced a series of challenges, ranging from injuries to inconsistent line play. His mobility, once a defining feature, has been limited at times due to leg injuries, and the offensive line has struggled to provide consistent protection. Guards and tackles have rotated in and out, adjusting for performance and health. which has created a ripple effect. Across the offensive scheme, running backs, receivers, and even Jackson himself have had to compensate for these gaps, often relying on individual effort to create plays. This dynamic has led to stalled drives, turnovers, and reduced red zone efficiency. Despite these obstacles, glimpses of the offense's potential remain, especially when health and timing align. The ability to adjust to challenges and maximize the talent on the roster will be critical as Baltimore faces a team equally capable of high-level performance in Pittsburgh. Injuries and player availability continue to influence game plans. Jackson's health and comfort behind the line, coupled with the functionality of his supporting cast, dictate the Ravens' ability to execute their offense. Running backs like Derrick Henry and Catton Mitchell see varying usage depending on game flow, while red zone opportunities remain an area of focus. The team's approach to rotations and leveraging younger players at key positions reflects both innovation and necessity. Balancing veteran experience with emerging talent remains an ongoing challenge, and the next few games will likely determine the extent to which the Ravens can establish a rhythm that plays to their strengths. At the same time, the matchup with the Steelers encapsulates the unpredictability and excitement inherent in the NFL. Both teams have the talent to beat anyone on any given day, and their performance hinges on execution, adjustments, and sometimes just timing, defensive stops, offensive efficiency, and the ability to capitalize on opportunities will shape not only this rivalry game, but also the trajectory of the Ravens and Steelers seasons. With the division tightly contested, every possession carries weight and every play matters. The upcoming weeks will test resilience, strategy, and the capacity to perform under pressure, highlighting why fans remain deeply invested in the drama, matchups, and evolving storylines of the AFC North. As the Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers prepare to face off, the focus inevitably shifts to strategy and execution. For Pittsburgh, offensive efficiency is an ongoing concern. The team has had flashes of brilliance, but sustaining consistent production has been a challenge. Quarterback play, timing with receivers, and the offensive line's ability to hold against the relentless Ravens pass rush will all be under scrutiny. The Steelers need to establish a rhythm early to prevent Baltimore from dictating the pace. Against a team like the Ravens, every snap matters, and minor breakdowns in protection or timing can have outsized consequences. The defensive front, already dealing with injuries, must generate pressure without relying solely on blitzes, while linebackers and secondary players adjust on the fly to counter Lamar Jackson's mobility and the versatile routes of Baltimore's receivers. The Ravens' offense, in turn, continues to grapple with its own challenges. Lamar Jackson's health has been a central theme, as injuries to his legs, ankles, and hamstrings over the season have affected not only his mobility, but also the confidence of his offensive line. Guards and tackles have rotated frequently, attempting to find an optimal combination of experience and agility. Yet inconsistency remains a persistent obstacle. The return of key players like Darius Washington and Davius Robinson has helped stabilize the unit, but gaps in communication and cohesion occasionally create vulnerabilities that opposing defenses can exploit. Jackson's ability to read the field and make split-second decisions has been tested repeatedly, and while he remains a dynamic playmaker, the accumulation of physical wear has required him to adjust his approach in games, limiting the improvisational plays that once defined his style. Red zone efficiency continues to be a problem for Baltimore. Once the most dominant unit in the league, the offense has struggled to convert opportunities this season. Turnovers, stalled drives, and suboptimal execution have contributed to a decline in scoring, placing additional pressure on both the running game and the passing attack. Running backs have seen irregular usage, balancing between Derrick Henry, Catton Mitchell, and situational backs like Rasheen Ali, who often see snaps in passing situations. Game flow, matchups, and the effectiveness of the offensive line all influence these decisions, leaving Jackson to compensate with mobility and creativity. Yet, even with these challenges, moments of excellence continue to surface, demonstrating the team's ability to overcome adversity when cohesion aligns. Defensively, Baltimore faces a Steelers offense that has struggled with consistency, but possesses the potential to capitalize on mistakes. The Ravens' ability to contain the run, pressure the quarterback, and create turnovers will define the tone of the game. Pittsburgh's offensive line has had its own struggles, particularly when facing aggressive fronts, and mismatches could prove pivotal. The Ravens' front seven, when healthy and disciplined, can dictate both tempo and field position. Yet, the team must remain vigilant against play-action passes and creative offensive schemes designed to exploit over-aggression. The chess match on both sides of the ball exemplifies why these matchups are so compelling, with strategy, adaptability, and execution combining to create high-stakes drama on every down. Both teams have been defined this season by their extremes. The Steelers have shown they can dominate games, controlling both the line of scrimmage and the passing attack, yet equally, they have displayed vulnerability, giving up substantial yardage when execution falters. Similarly, the Ravens can light up scoreboards with a balanced, high-tempo offense, but inconsistencies, especially in protection and timing, can stall drives and limit scoring opportunities. This duality makes the matchup a test of who can impose structure on their game plan while forcing the other to react under pressure. Turnovers, third down conversions, and red zone efficiency will likely determine the ultimate outcome, highlighting the importance of every play, every decision, and every adjustment throughout the game. In terms of player impact, Lamar Jackson remains central to Baltimore's offensive prospects. His ability to extend plays with mobility, evade pressure, and create opportunities in space has always been a differentiator. However, his recent leg injuries and the physical toll of the season mean that Jackson must carefully navigate both his decision-making and his physical approach. The offensive line, anchored by a mix of veterans and developing players, plays a critical role in providing him with the time and space to operate effectively. Meanwhile, receivers and running backs must adjust to fluid defensive schemes, exploiting gaps and maintaining alignment to maximize efficiency. Each player's performance contributes directly to the team's ability to control the game, and small errors can quickly cascade into turnovers or stalled drives. Pittsburgh's offensive outlook, conversely, hinges on its capacity to execute against a Ravens defense that is disciplined and opportunistic. Quarterback decisions, timing with the wide receivers, and protection schemes against an aggressive front seven are all pivotal. The Steelers must find a rhythm, establishing early success in both passing and running plays to force Baltimore to react. Defensive line rotations, linebacker coverage, and secondary adjustments are all critical to creating opportunities and avoiding costly mistakes. Injuries and depth concerns add layers of complexity, forcing the coaching staff to balance aggression with caution, all while managing the tempo and flow of the game. Special teams and situational football also carry weight in a matchup of this intensity. Field position, kicking efficiency, and return coverage can swing momentum, especially in tightly contested games. Both the Ravens and Steelers understand the impact of these elements, often using them as tactical tools to influence game flow. As such, execution in these phases is as vital as offensive or defensive performance, reinforcing the idea that every unit on the field contributes to the outcome. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest news on the Baltimore Ravens. And hey, drop your take in the comments below. We want to hear from the flock. Fans are buzzing with excitement as rumors swirl around a potential blockbuster move that could shake up the NFL landscape. Word on the street is that the Baltimore Ravens are preparing what insiders are calling a monster offer to bring in star wide receiver Terry McLaurin. The news has sent shockwaves through social media, with fans and analysts alike speculating on the implications of such a move. According to sources close to the team, the Ravens front office has been quietly assessing ways to bolster their offensive firepower, and McLaurin has emerged as a top target, known for his explosive speed, crisp route running, and reliable hands. McLaurin could be the missing piece for a Ravens attack that has shown flashes of brilliance, but has often struggled to consistently stretch the field. The team is reportedly willing to go all in, with discussions pointing to a contract that could rival some of the biggest deals in recent memory. The mere hint of the Ravens' interest has already set the fan base on fire. Social media platforms are overflowing with debates about how McLaurin would fit alongside the team's existing offensive weapons, and whether this move could instantly elevate Baltimore into legitimate championship contention. Analysts are weighing in, pointing out that while McLaurin's talent is undeniable, his acquisition would require significant maneuvering under the salary cap, and likely involve tough decisions on existing personnel. Meanwhile, whispers from McLaurin's camp suggest that the player himself is open to a new challenge, which only adds fuel to the speculative fire. Could a move to Baltimore offer him the chance to be the focal point of an offense hungry for big plays. Could the Ravens' aggressive pursuit signal a larger strategy to dominate the league? Through marquee acquisitions, the intrigue is palpable, and insiders insist that talks are at an advanced stage, with all parties moving cautiously but deliberately. Whether this rumor materializes into a reality remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: Ravens fans are on the edge of their seats, imagining the kind of electrifying plays McLaurin could deliver in purple and black. The league, as always, watches closely when whispers of this magnitude emerge, and if Baltimore truly intends to make this move, the ripple effects could be felt far beyond Charm City. Until then, speculation continues, and the excitement shows no signs of fading. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with exclusive news on our Baltimore Ravens, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what the flock thinks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.